What's up, guys? Mr. Dan here, back again with another Dollar Tree haul for the rest of October. All of my Dollar Tree hauls will be horror related. I've got one here that might be borderline sci-fi. I'm not really sure, but as much as I can, I'm going to make them Dollar Tree horror hauls. Okay, so here's a short haul here, and as you can see, put up a picture. I'm packed to the gills with movies here. So the bottom row are all things that I've had for a while, or I've gotten from Hamilton Books, Oldies.com, Blue Underground, things like that. The top are all Dollar Tree movies that I have not seen, or at least in some cases haven't seen in a long time. So I found some good ones recently, starting with this. This is fun. 6 midnight movies on 2 DVDs, The Brain That Wouldn't Die collection. Okay, so you got 6 movies on 2 DVDs. I think the longest one, however, is 1 hour and 30 minutes. Most of them are closer to an hour. Unlike some of my other collections, where they actually went out of their way to tell you, hey, the quality might not be too great because these are old, it does say digitally remastered. So we'll see. And sound enhanced. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it wouldn't kill me if they weren't, but that would be cool. Obviously, The Brain That Wouldn't Die, you know, infamously fun movie. It's just wacky, but it's a crazy fun movie. It was on Mystery Science Theater, as was The Indestructible Man with Lon Chaney Jr. Then you got The Head, The Atomic Brain, The Amazing Transparent Man, and The Manster. There you go. So you got, who did we got here? Jack Polyexfen. I remember a Fangoria magazine that was dedicated to his films and his special effects. And Manster is a two-headed man. Dealy. Anyway, looked like they could be fun. Next, this is the one that could be borderline sci-fi. I've never heard of this before. Pioneer. The underwater sequences stun and terrify, and there's almost as much terror on land. Doesn't appear to be a creature feature type. Riveting thriller, the tension never lets up. Set in the early 80s at the beginning of the Norwegian oil boom. It's a conspiracy thriller somehow, and it's got Stephen Lang. That's pretty much what kind of sold me. Big fan of Stephen Lang. You know, Don't Breathe, VFW. Go way back in the day to Gettysburg. Band of the Hand. Anybody remembers those? Let's do a couple Wild Eyes next, all right? We've got Life Force. Been happy to find a couple Wild Eye titles. There you go. Add the Dollar Tree. Eventually, I'll get back to doing some Wild Eye Wednesday. I'll try to do one in this month of October. A Monster is Born. Don't know the names of any of those people. Sometimes Beauty is the Beast. Reminded me of the Species series. Okay. Guy uses experimental stem cells to bring back his wife. Sure, that'll work out just fine. The next Wild Eye title is Inhumanity. Again, don't know any of these individuals. Not to be confused with Inhuman Witch, which Hobbs Horror reviewed, if you want to check out that review. By the way, Dollar Tree Theater is brought to you by Hobbs Horror. Check out his channel, of course. And his October Spooktacular. Let's say a narrowly escaping death at okay. She escapes death at the hands of a serial killer. She learns her father's committed suicide, and now there's a conspiracy about it. Could be interesting. Okay. The darkest secrets are the deadliest. See, you're supposed to emphasize that because it's in red. Next, we have a couple Australian films. All right, I got to tell you, in both cases, I started them and fell asleep and was borderline not into them. One more than the other, and I'll explain. One of them is a Shudder original. Nice looking cover, The Marshes. Okay, beware what lurks beneath. Nice slipcover. Dude's walking around with this little scissory thing. I don't remember ever seeing his face, but I didn't finish it. I'm sorry. A fresh slasher. I don't know if it was fresh. The location was interesting. It was like in a wetlands. Some wildlife conservationists are out collecting water samples, and of course they run afoul of Australians' version of hillbillies, who I believe they refer to as hillbillies. Later they find out that these individuals are out there poaching, so they clash with them, and then there's only 3 of them, and some stuff happens, and I kind of fell asleep. It took a while to get going. I don't know. I didn't really understand. There was no backstory given. I don't remember. And be prepared for some of the slang. Oh my goodness, I've seen a lot of Australian movies, but there was the one guy, I think it was this guy, he started telling a story about a swag man and a billy bong, and it's like, whoa. Swag man, I guess, is like a drifter. A billy bong is like a pond. But I was like, back up there, slow down, buddy. Let me make sure I get all this. So, I mean, I'll probably give it another try or try to finish it, which I didn't see a lot that was original myself. Okay. Now this next one I didn't know was Australian until I got it home. I mean, boom! I just saw the cover, popped it in. I'll show you what it looks like. The menu looked cool as hell. Dark Whispers with Anthony LaPaglia. I didn't know he was Australian. I looked it up, and sure, So he's the most recognizable actor in this, I believe. Some Voices Can't Be Ignored. So this is an anthology. Now, volume 1, I like that. I like the confidence there. Okay, there are 10 stories brought to you by 11 female directors. The wraparound segment involves, which is directed by a separate director, is rather involved. It's not one of these quickie jobs where they go from one segment to another. You spend a couple minutes getting set up, and then in between segments, sometimes there's a minute or so where that sort of story continues. And basically, a young woman inherits a strange book from her recently deceased mother called The Book of Dark Secrets. So as she reads the story, each story is one of these supernatural tales. Okay? And they're, like a lot of these, they were hit and miss. Now we're talking 10, okay? The last anthology I reviewed, I believe, that had 10 stories was Nightmare Radio, and most of those were pretty good. Some of these feel like they end very abruptly, and a lot of short films. When you have 10, okay, 3, 4, 5, you got Creepshow 2 with 3, the original Creepshow 5. I think Dr. Terror's House of Horrors had 5. 3 to 5 is the usual amount. When you have 10, they're obviously rather short, and I think you want to try to make it seem like more than just a collection of short films that you can put on a playlist on YouTube. And I guess they do a pretty good job with this wraparound segment, but some of them seem like they end abruptly. A few of them. I'll continue this. I'll go back and continue this. There's one that ended so abruptly, I was like, what did I miss? But some interesting styles here. There's one about a mermaid, which was very good. Nightmare Radio also had a mermaid story, so maybe I'll compare the makeup effects. I remember the makeup effects from Nightmare Radio were pretty good, as were the makeup effects in this one. There was an animated one in here, which I was okay. I don't know if I loved the animation style, but I'll give this one another look and give it a proper review. Maybe I'll review both of them at some point in the future. There you go, guys. Dollar Tree, October Horror Haul. Come back again soon. Thanks a lot.